Welcome to OPACs stink, but you can still use them. In this tutorial, we're going to describe a means of searching an OPAC using its contents and structure in such a way as we won't be tearing out our hair at the end of the search. We'll start by considering why OPACs stink. OPAC contents are classified according to the Dewey and Library of Congress systems, which predate the digital age. OPACs aren't structured like websites either. As a matter of fact, the Dewey system, included in many OPACs, dates back to 1876. Therefore, OPAC entries aren't accessible to search engines, which use web crawlers and vocabulary lists to return results. And users aren't likely to match LC or Dewey subject headings when using an OPAC search function. Finally, bibliographic entries usually lack the tags that search engines like to see. So people get frustrated when they can't use OPACs like Google. The fact is that the OPAC retains the form of the old card catalog as we've known it forever. Forever being since about 1840. At the end of the day, we're using a 19th century tool for the 21st century task of information retrieval. This tool, the OPAC, was created to store, identify, and find things, not information. The key to using the OPAC, therefore, is to identify the things that contain the relevant information. Look at it this way. Think about what an OPAC really is. It's a list of a library's resources arranged by the titles, subjects, and authors-creators of those resources. The OPAC is a database. We know that a database is a collection of records consisting of information displayed in fields. Information can be retrieved from a database through queries matching the contents of fields. Glom on to the term field because it's going to be really important in a minute. What fields are we going to find in an OPAC? We'll find author and title, of course, but more importantly, the subject headings derived from the Dewey and LC systems. So logically speaking, if a subject heading resides in a field, in a database entry, aka a bibliographic record, we can use the heading to find other entries or bibliographic records containing that field. So we'll do this. We'll search an OPAC by a subject, narrow the search results, explore one of the bibliographic records for subject headings, and select and use a subject heading as a search term. Let's start by going to the catalog of the Denver Public Library. That puts us directly into a quick search box, so we'll type in a keyword. Today we like Civil War, and when we type that in, we get some suggested keywords to use. We'll click on the first one, since that seems to be very specific and pretty wordy, upon which the OPAC tells us that we have about 2,800 resources to look at. We'd like to make sure the system knows that we're searching by subject, so we will select that field. And we like books, so we'll choose the book format. We'll click on the search button. Now we're down to 2,500 books with contents that more or less match this keyword, U.S. History Civil War. We'd like to stick to grown-up reading, so we'll select adult-level literature on the left-hand side. And we want nonfiction since we like history, so we click on that. We're now down to 928 books. Let's go to the subject list and expand that. There we find a secondary subject of women, which we will click on. And we're down to 16 books. But we're still stuck with this keyword, and we're not really sure we have relevant results. The only way to achieve relevant results at this point is to go into a bibliographic record, get a subject heading, and search on that. So we scroll down to a likely looking book, Scarlett doesn't live here anymore. Pull up the bibliographic record by clicking on the Full Details button, whereupon we find in the first of the 5 Dewey subject headings that we have exactly what we're looking for. So let's highlight that subject heading, do a quick copy, return to our search page, scroll up to the keyword search box, clear it, and paste the Dewey subject heading in as a keyword. And there we are. Click on search again. The system now tells us we have 73 books with bibliographic records containing the Dewey subject heading, United States History, Civil War, Women. Let's check that by looking at the record of the first book. Click on Full Details. Scroll down the subject headings, and there we see it, U.S. History, Civil War, Women. So let's review what we did. We searched the OPAC by a subject, narrowed our search results, explored one of the bibliographic record 4 subject headings, and selected and used a subject heading as a search term. In that way, we found the most relevant results because we searched inside a bibliographic record created by a librarian who'd actually looked at the book and determined that that subject heading matched the contents of the book. So we conclude our tutorial by giving a special shout out to Gertrude Stein, who inspired our search by saying, "There never will be anything more interesting than that American Civil War." Thanks for watching and listening, and happy hunting in the OPAC.